Hi, morning everyone. This is Megan. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share an introduction of the two cities where I live close by, and I often also think that's often overlooked in our conversation, which is Newark and Union City. So these two cities are pretty young. They are officially incorporated into a city in 1955, which is for Newark City, and 1959. That's for Union City. They are also relatively smaller, so I'll try to make it easy and clear for you today so you can, have a cup of a drink and sit back, relax, and I'll tell you what I know about these two cities. So a lot of agents and definitely most of the buyers think New York City is just like a neighborhood of Fremont, and you can see in this map here, it's actually totally surrounded by Fremont. So the outside is Fremont. This Ardenwood is also Fremont. But it's a city itself. It actually has its own police department, fire department, and schools. And the Newark, for me to advocate for Newark is that this is absolutely the closest that you can get to Peninsula and Palo Alto without actually paying that price. It's right at the foot of Dumbarton Bridge. So this is the bridge we're talking about. We either call it 84 or we call it Dumbarton Bridge. I think from Newark driving to, for example, Meta, it's only like 20 minutes if traffic is all good. So if your clients work in Meta or Tesla, this is a sweet spot for commute. It is also a very chill city. It is very small enough that everything is nearby. So for the time I live in the city, I never have any traffic jam. I'll show you where is everything on this map. So for shopping, the major area is this area, this one, and also one in here. So for this is an intersection between Javas and Newark Boulevard. It has Sprouts, Safeway, Ranch 99, and it's very near to the 84 highway. And then you have NewPark Mall, which is here, where you will have Costco, which was just open like 2 years. And you have Lions Market, another big Asian grocery shopping center. And then there's also a theater, lots of restaurants here. My favorite is Loman Bay Hot Pot. Very affordable and very delicious.
Yeah. Just to interject one thing regarding Newark's history. Does anyone know? I think this is also fun fact because I have two clients actually asking me about this question. Since Newark is 100% surrounded by Fremont, is it like independent out of Fremont? Why was it not a part of Fremont City? Does anyone know that?
I don't know.
Have you ever thought about this? So the answer is very interesting and simple. Actually, Newark City is older than Fremont City. So at very early ages, okay, we're talking about before 1950, most of the cities in Bay Area are incorporated. So they use a word like you form a corporation, like a company called incorporation, where the cities, that's why most of the prelims you see one thing called a CTNR. That's pretty much the terms of the city's incorporation. So long story short, Newark was incorporated in September 1955. And Fremont was the several other villages back that time. So before 1950, there was no clear city line definition in most parts of Bay Area, except for very small cities like Palo Alto, Burlingame. Those are like very old, but most of cities are considered like a rural areas, right? So those citizens decide to vote and establish their city line and do, as you said, police, public and so forth. Actually, this is going to be used to explain a lot of other things. For example, Campbell, right? And we talked about before by Jing Mei. So yeah, so basically, that's why Newark was incorporated back in September 1959. And after Newark, the other villages around the area, which is Mission San Jose Village, Centerville Village, let me see, yeah, and Irvington Village, yeah, Niles Village, and Warm Springs Village. These 5 villages decided to form the city of Fremont. And back then, Ardenwood is a totally full farmland until like late 70s. So it's very interesting to look at the city's history and evolution. So yeah, so you can introduce this to your clients so they will know that it's much deeper than any regular people. Yeah, so this is a little fun but useful fact. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I feel like when I was preparing this presentation, I learned a lot too, the things that I never noticed before.
Yeah.
So this is a very fun fact, and I think I can definitely love to share this anecdote to my buyers in the future. So going back to Newark, for activities, the parks, there are several parks. The ones that I really like is the Newark Community Center. It's actually pretty old. I think I have one. I play with my kids in there, and one very older lady, she said that when she's young, she used to play here, and it's had the same structures since then. And another very nice one is this Silliman Center. So this is Silliman Center. It holds, it's like a sports complex where you have soccer, baseball, and very nice of it is this indoor swimming park. So unlike the aquatic park in Fremont, which is outdoor, which is also very fun, this one is indoor. So, they also have events here, like during Thanksgiving, they have floating pumpkins. So the swimming pool will be flooded with pumpkins inside, and all the kids can bring home a pumpkin after they're done with playing with water. So this is very family oriented. As you can see, many parks here, libraries around here. So this is pretty much what you need to know about Newark. There's also a very nice area, which I'll go deeper later when I dive deep into the neighborhood, which is a lakeshore park. It's a man-made lake with lovely trails around it and a lot of homes nearby. So moving on to Union City. Union City, I think this is also a very young city. I think the buzzword around here would be, sorry, let me go back to Union City map. Buzzword, actually, let me share this tab instead, so it's actually clearer. The Union City, I think the buzzword is a transit because it's more of a gateway city because it has a major hub for BART and Caltrain. So it's very easy for people to commute to Oakland or San Francisco. So it acts like a link between the two cities and the rest of East Bay. And then going back to this map here. So for shopping, this one is a big complex called Union Landing. You have Walmart, Best Buy, Target, movies, and a lot of restaurants. My recent favorite here, I think, is it here? Is this revolving sushi bar? It's really fun. And then there's also another area that's big with shops is around here, which is close to the Union City BART station. This one you will have your Safeway. There's Daiso. I think there's also is it 99 Ranch is also close by. A lot of restaurants too. For outdoor activities, actually, I seldomly go to Union City to play at their parks because I feel like their parks are kind of smaller, but it's definitely close to Quarry Lake, which is in Fremont, but it's right at the border of Fremont and Union City. I know a lot of people like to, walk on the trails here. And then another very lovely trails I love about Union City is this Alameda Creek Trail. So along the Alameda Creek, so depending on the weather, I think most of the time the creek is kind of dry, but on top of the creek, you have this lovely trail you can go. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so basically, see, this is a dry creek, but along this side, it's very long and it goes, I think it goes all the way to Coyote Hills. Is it Coyote Hills? Yeah. And I see people, running, walking, or riding bikes along it. So that's also very lovely for the outdoor times.
Yeah. Just so also give you a little bit more fun fact again. So yeah, similarly, you can definitely check on Union City. Actually, the emergence of Union City is actually back to the 1850s. But something as far as I know. It's very interesting. If you actually go to the state of New Jersey, there is also a city called Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah,
And there is
much
also
bigger.
a city of Union City, New Jersey. So, well, there also the Union City, New Jersey is also in the north of Newark, New Jersey, and Newark is very famous of there. It does have a big like airport, So yeah, so actually, if you actually talk about Newark, more people know Newark, New Jersey than people know in Newark, California, and and also there is another city called Union, not Union City, Union. There are two separate cities in New Jersey. Yeah. So just add in as a fun fact. So yeah, you can.
Yeah. So if you search Google, when you search Newark, most of the time it'll take you to the New Jersey Newark because that's a much larger city and is established much longer than this Newark. I just searched on it. It's actually incorporated in 1798. So very much older.
I just want to add one comment. Like I just learned like there's another Newark in New Jersey because one of my friends told me like USCIS has a like field office over there. If you are interviewed, probably you will be signed that one for the nearby area.
Good ad, Nemo. Great. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about where to actually send your clients. So let me pull up all the sold. So it's probably easier for you to see. Let's just say like 3+. So for your clients looking to buy entry-level single-family home around the budget of 1.2 to 1.5, I think even from 1 million to 1.5, you can find plenty of options in New York. Here I filtered it. So you can see it's kind of all over Newark. Oh, by the way, it's actually hard to find neighborhood maps for Newark or Union City. Some of the websites have it, but I think it's too detailed. Like this two city is pretty small. It's not worth to separate by each street. So I just basically went over by, how I most familiar with those cities. So I'll just call this area, I don't know, like center Newark or the older part of Newark. So for the budget range under 1.5 million, you can see there's plenty of options around here. This neighborhood is very residential. They usually build around parks or schools, and there's always parks and schools nearby. The only one area I think are more, more mixed, or like the ones have flatter a flat roof or more smaller lot is this area, I would generally not recommend this area too much, but all the other areas, you know, I just randomly click. This is a typical Newark home for you, like 6,000 square foot lot, built in the 50s, 60s, sometimes even 70s, with the square footage of living space around 1,200. Yeah, so yeah, this area I think is all overall is very good. But if your client is having, you know, even larger budget, let's say move to 1.5, then I have two neighborhood I would recommend. So let's go back to this lakeshore that I talked about earlier. So if your client's like a resort feel, I really like lake area. As I said, it's a man-made lake, has trails. There's events here too, like the city have people come here to teach kids about how to fishing. People actually do fish in this lake. Depending on how close, maybe 6 months or 1 year. So really, depending on how close is the house close to the lake and how big it is. So the price could range around like 1.5 all the way to, you know, 1.8. Yeah, 1.8. For 1.8, you can get like over 2,000 square feet. I think the lot is also pretty big, 7,000. And for smaller homes, 1,300. And the lot size is 6,500 square feet. This is a good area, and this area again is close to the shops and close to Challenger. So Challenger is around Jarvis Avenue. So this is and also easy to commute. So you can just go on the 84 and go to your South Bay office. If your client want a bigger lot, also bigger home, another neighborhood I really recommend is the Birch Grove area. I do see the Birch Grove area kind of grow during all these years I moved here. I think their schools are getting better too. This is a pretty big school and a big park. The typical home looks pretty much like this, where I showed you. Very decent, like over 7,000 lot or around there.
Yeah, just to add in for the Birch Grove area, now the Asian population is the #1 population over there in that school elementary zone, and the science and the math are actually over the state average. So it's actually were like a 2 times better than this about 7-8 years ago, around 2010. So you know, the uptrend for this elementary is very, very significant. Yeah.
Right. Birch Grove they have 2 campus. One is a primary, one is intermediate. So one is from K to 3 and the intermediate is 3 to 5. And if your clients want even bigger and newer homes, come to my listing in Sanctuary Village. I'll show you. This listing is very nice. This community built around 2019.
Sorry, I think the screen stuck.
Share
Only
this
me?
one. Hi.
Okay, thank you.
For some reason I cannot share my whole windows today, so I'm have to do tab between tabs. So if it didn't switch, just let me know. Thank you so much. So this is my listing in Sanctuary Village. This is a model home. It's very beautiful. This community all built around 2019. There are lots varies, and there are 3 builders in this community. So houses here are all over 3,000 square foot. Yeah, some are 4-bedroom plans with maybe a bonus, and most of them are 5 bedrooms. So if your client
Ask one question regarding your listing. Like you mentioned, the community is built by 3 different builders,
Right.
and the price between different builders will be vary, or?
That's a really good question. I don't think so. I think it's pretty. I think different builder might have different plans. Maybe
Yeah. So
those,
at the so
yeah.
I can answer this question.
Yeah.
So at the time it was sold, Lancy was the first builder that was getting in, and they actually used a different pricing model. They actually started offering these houses for relatively lower price, and then they found out that people are very interested, so they gave a very shady way. They actually opened up bidding. I actually helped 2 clients bid for this and they do, because the most difficult part for bidding these new homes is that there's no comps, and the salesperson does not give you the previous sold units price. So you pretty much have to guess and use your best. There was a lot of strategy and negotiation and mindset thing going on with the clients. But obviously half of the clients, they did not have agents. So so that being said, like in late 2018, I think no, it's not 2018. This is around 2020, 2021. So this was becoming like some of the houses, even in same builder, some of the houses were like a very, very high in price. So, but for the houses built in like by Toll Brothers, and I think Megan, which was the other builder?
So Lancy, KB Homes, and
KB, yeah.
Horton.
Oh, sorry, Horton, not Toll Brothers, Horton, yeah. So for KB and DR Horton, KB is called Primrose, and DR Horton, I don't exactly remember the name. So those are like a directly open for selling. So but because the 2 other developers, they opened relatively later than the Lancy. So that price, I think it was back in 2021 or 2022. So they actually opened up the price pretty much like higher than the Lancy. So eventually ended up all the 3 builders sell about the similar per square footage price, which is around 450, somewhere between 450 to 520-ish at the time. And now the price there, whoever wants to buy Sanctuary Village basically does not care or does not ask about who was the builder, but just check the overall community comps price. So at least for today, there's no difficulty for you to use comps in the same community to your clients.
And I think Anna, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. In most areas, like non-HOA single family are usually like more expensive. But in Newark, I think newer HOA single family or related PUD actually seems to be more expensive. Why do you think that is? Is this because the land in Newark is relatively cheaper, and or the buyers who purchase the house in Newark they are not prefer big lot?
I think it's more I'll try to answer first. I think it's more related to when the house was built. So if the house have a HOA, usually they're much newer. So for example, Sanctuary Village is built around like 2020, 2019, versus the rest of the Newark is built around 50s, 60s, 70s. So who actually buy in Newark right now for the HOA homes are buying for the very big luxurious square footage and often overlooked and more like in those communities, I think also their neighbors, right? So that's what they prefer. And usually where they send their kids to school is also private school, make it less sensitive to the HOA. Also, these homes, they are all single family homes. So even though they have a HOA, the HOA fee is not that high. It's around 100. I guess that's my take on why they prefer this and why the price is higher.
Yeah, thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah. And for this, so to buy in here, again, it's quite close to Costco, and it's right next to Fremont. Fremont's right here, so you can there's another Costco here, obviously 2 Costcos. And then the Auto Mall is here, very convenient location. And then if I'm going to share this tab. So if your clients want to buy new constructions of single homes, there is one builder currently building right now. It's between Cedar Boulevard and 880. It's called Marable by Robson Homes. They sell single family homes. It's right here. And they're all 4 bedrooms plans, and their price varies between, I think last time I checked, so 1.3 or 1.4 to 1.72, somewhere around there, different plans. And they're still selling right now. So if your clients want to buy a new construction, this would be a good chance for them to get it. But they're still under construction. It's not completed. And then a very big community I want to circle back on is the Bridgeway, which is around, let me go back to the red thing because that's easier to see. So let's reset this to townhomes. So if your client's looking for townhomes, let's see where they can go. So a very big community is around here. Did I filter anything? Why there's only okay around here? This I think it's called like Bridgeway, Bridge Shore. There are also 3 builders, if I research it correctly. There's Lennar, there's Taylor Morrison, there's Trumark Homes. They built around 2017. And different phases. I think up until 2022, they're still selling, as you can see in 2023. I'm sorry, this is not what, yeah, this is the year they built. So up until like 2023, they're still selling. This is a very dense neighborhood. For me to show on the satellite. It's all townhomes. Very, very close to each other. Not much of a park. There's some other things, like there's 2 playgrounds here, but that's pretty much it. And how this community was built is by landfill, right? The builders got this part landfilled and built on top of it. But at the time when it's selling, it's very popular to like people come and buy it. For the new constructions. So if your clients are looking for like 3 to 4 bedroom townhomes and close to work, right? This is very easy commute to 84, back to that bridge again. And then this, right now there are many for sale listings here. Recently I checked, even for there are single family homes. So for single family homes, as low as you can go is 1.3 for 4 bedrooms. So, and this community have a lot of Chinese and Indians, like Asians love to live inside. I know there's like neighborhood WhatsApps, very tight community. Other places to buy townhomes is near the Cedar Boulevard area. the Luma Terrace. I think this is called Timber Community. And then there is also this area near Maui and 880. Both are very, this is Prima community. Both are very close to, freeways. So easy for commute. That's pretty much Newark. Before I jump to Union City, is there any questions?
Might I ask a question regarding the landfill?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't do much research, but
yeah, for the people who bought the house, like built on the landfill, do they worry about the foundation and the related issues?
But I think at that time it's like, this is a very good entry level. It's a good price point, and it's very close to South Bay. Compared to the South Bay home price, I think this is really a good bargain, and it's a new construction. So I guess at that time, not much debate, but Sean or, Cindy or whoever knows can chime in. I didn't really do much. I don't know how people thoughts about it, but my friends who live there, they don't have any issue about this landfill though. I think it's completely landfill, not, oh yeah, Anna knows.
Yeah, I think in that area, sometimes you can smell like something, especially during the summer.
Yeah, the smell comes from this carnival pools, which you see here. I have actually told someone what this is. The yellow and red. Anyone know what this is? This is nothing crazy, horrible. Or this is just this is the molten salt factory. It's just used to produce different salt. So yeah. So basically, the smell you use is basically the natural things you're gonna be experiencing around any like a relatively slow moving water seaside. So okay, so regarding the landfill, this was actually a marshland, but it was essentially geologically tested and verified to be viable. So that's how the Bayshore area was basically started to build. I back in 2020, I started telling people that because this actually started back in 2016 or 17. So in 2020, I said people, hey, because this is a marshland, so you may experience like a foundation issue or a settlement and so forth. However, almost 10 years passed. Surprisingly, KB Home, who actually there were a couple of builders, KB Home, Lion Homes, who built this community, and then later Lennar and what else? I think there are 5 builders in this area. Till today, there's no litigation, which is very surprisingly good. So whoever, maybe they were kind of like concerned about the marshland and landfill issue and so forth, they actually used extra reinforcement. Maybe they built all the way down to the sheer sheet rock, like to the deep. But overall, the structure of this area is pretty decent and reliable. No litigation, no any kind of dispute. So I think if I were you to answer my client's Nemo, is that this is already past the 10-year building litigation period, and no litigation have been filed in any of these communities. Because we have constantly going on and in this area. So so I think this is a good proof how this area is constructed. So good news.
Yeah, maybe because they built it much later than like Foster City or Redwood Shore. Like maybe the technology at the time is much more advanced, so they have all this new, newer or modern technology on building this. And also the smell you smell is unlike the Milpitas smell. It's not like garbage or trash. It's just from the nature. It's just the sea. Along the sea, there's like all this microbial things, like the grass and stuff. Oh, the mash. Yeah. Yeah. So, anything? Okay. So going back to Union City. So I think for an entry level, let me switch back to this. And then let's search Union City. So roughly speaking, even though I like the communities, so roughly speaking, this is Alvarado community where they have a historical landmark here somewhere. And then along this is Union City Boulevard area. I would think this community looks pretty similar to each other. And then Casa Verde Parks, this area is older. Town Estate Park is a little bit older. And then this Contemo Park here is quite close to Fremont's Ardenwood area. So it looks a little bit like that. Union City also have this downtown. Most of them are commercials. And then along the BART, which I would say like transit district between the Mission Boulevard and the BART. So this is how I usually divide the Union City neighborhood. So if your client is looking for, so going back to this tab. So if your client's looking for entry-level single-family, like a ranch-style home, again, around like 1.2, 1.5 million range, where they can look at is between the Union City Boulevard and Alvarado Boulevard, like around this neighborhood. There is a creek here. So this creek kind of divided this pocket into two sections. So the west houses are built around 70s, and this east side is built around 80s, which is newer. So this side you might see prices a bit. Oh, let me filter to houses. Yeah, you will see the houses price sometimes, this is very new. This I'll introduce later, but you will see the houses a bit newer than this side of the community. And then for the entry-level homes, they can also look into the Casa Verde Park and this what is it called? Town East Park area. These two areas could be a little bit more budget friendly because they are a bit older. They are built around the 50s and 70s. So this two area, you can see the price can go a little bit lower. So if your client have a bit bigger budget, I have this neighborhood I would like to recommend, which is you want to look at the west side of the Union City Boulevard. So alongside, let me filter the price. So it's actually easier to see, like 1.5. So along this corridor, the houses you see are ranging from like 90s to right now. So there is this Carmel Way have a new construction. There's still, I think, 4 or 5 units left. But most of this side is built after the 90s. And the bedrooms are usually 4 to 5 bedrooms ranging around 2,500 to 3,500 square feet with big or small lots. So for the bigger lot, you would want to look at the south, and the smaller lot can look to the north. Here, I'll just randomly click on one to show you what the typical house looks like. It's actually pretty nice with the tile roof, built in 1997. So this will be a very nice neighborhood to look at. There is also this neighborhood, which I just roughly go through. It's west of this. It's called Ponderosa Cove 2. There is a Ponderosa Cove 1 here, that's built in the after the 2000. So if your client's looking for newer homes, bigger lot, this is also west of Alameda Creek. This area could be another good potential for them to find a nice home. And this is like one of the typical homes in this area. Another place to look at newer homes would be this area, this Mission Niles. As you can see, I'm not too familiar with Union City. It takes longer for me to, I know. Yeah, so along here, you will also find new homes like this. Also looks similar to that one, but with a smaller lot. But their price will go lower too. So their price could be below 2 million. The pros is that you can, take the BART or Caltrain where you want to go. But the cons will be the noise, right? So their price is a little bit lower than the other two communities I showed you earlier. And for your client looking to buy townhomes, like the best would be around the BART station. So around here, I think we sold several in here too, for their townhomes built after 2000, and for like $1 million, they can get a very decent like 3 to 4 bedroom townhomes and very close to BART. So, it takes them to their work. I think that's it. That's all I want to share about Union City and Newark. Is there anything else anyone want to add or have any questions? Oh, sorry. One last part is the school. So Newark and Union City is not most famous for their schools. This is Newark. As you can see, Birch Grove is already improving. I think for their intermediates 7. I also put another resource that says 8, but all the other ones, I think in Asian standard is like you cannot go. Union City, a little bit better. This Elaine Estin Elementary is where I recommended, on the west side of the Union City Boulevard. That's where all those houses gonna go. That's their assigned elementary school. And I just discovered this Connecting Water Charters. This is not a conventional school. This apparently is like a independent study where your kids would be homeschooled. You will still enrolled in this. They will provide curriculum. They have all these resources, but the kids will be homeschooled. This Tom Kitayama Elementary is where the what's it called? Town East State Park area. Though this is their assigned elementary. Middle school, high school, James Logan High is more reputable. But I want to go back to elementary because actually there is a Chinese immersion program. It's in this Gay Emmanuel Elementary School. The director is very passionate lady, and I think they're doing great right now. So for the people who live in the Tri-City area in Alameda County and cannot go to Fremont's Chinese immersion, but they want to have a immersion environment, then Union City would have a good option here for people to attend. For agents, I think most of them are not in the public school system, so their choice would be to go to Challenger. Challenger is around Newark, and then for and basis is in Fremont, and even further would be the Stratford. I think those are the schools that parents send their kids to. All right, that's it. Any questions?
Hey, yeah, thanks. Thank you, Megan. Anton here. Just a few things. So, as real estate agents, we often get viewed as salespeople that try to sell, and just show the glamorous things of properties and neighborhoods, etc. From like a pessimistic view, like if I was a buyer and asked you, hey, what would be the most negative things about these areas? What would you say are some of the cautions or negative aspects about either of these cities or neighborhoods?
Okay, well, that's a very fresh take on, to look back onto those cities. I think the number one negative, especially for, the buyers with kids, if the schools is not top schools, right? It's mostly for commute, but for schools, you have to spend extra money to send them to private schools. And then it could be some area that are more mixed, like what I pointed in Newark, and I think in Union City would be like the downtown area, because there's more, shopping, more commercial. You see apartments. Oh, Union City have 4 mobile parks, by the way. So let me show you. So just search like mobile parks, Union City. So you might want to, look out for them if they want to. There should be more. If they want to buy homes close to there. So, like a more mixed community, more diverse community for those 2 cities.
Got it. Okay.
Not like your typical, South Bay, some of this.
One thing I want to add in as a broker, always, I think Megan answered this perfectly, but whenever clients ask about this, one thing you never mention, you may never mention, things like ethnicity, because this area has more this kind of, never say that. Okay, this is against the anti-discrimination law. You're gonna get a big cover into this. And also, don't mention. I mean, most realtors know about this, right? Especially this incentive. But again, also don't mention. Oh, there are more young people. There are more older people because of this. And well, again, you can state the fact, right? Like the average age of this is this, right? And ethnicity group of this, that's fine. But don't add any opinion. Especially when people ask about negative things, and that is called devising. Like you're trying to, because you are Latino, so you want to, I think this neighborhood still do better because that's a lot of this is actually against the law. So yeah, I think Anton's question is a pretty good like a reminder for us to always go with our ethical and also professional practice, in terms of suggesting our advising our clients. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good discussion, constructive discussion. Yeah. So so let's thank you very much for the sharing, and I think we also contacted the group like very well. Timing is pretty good, so we actually made it pretty short and concise. Great. So a couple of things before I let you all go. First of all, maybe everybody noticed. I don't know if you noticed, but obviously we have one top producing agent joining us last week. which is Serena. Serena, and so yeah, everybody, please give her a great applause and say hi. So yeah, we're very excited to have Serena in our group. Actually, I'm gonna post my social media today to welcome Serena joining the Gaia family. So
Thank you.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think yeah. So the second thing is that let me show you my screen. And me and the technical team are actually working very hard to try to get everybody, especially our new agents. Oops. No. Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen. I think I can try to. Okay, yeah, I can share one tab of mine so you can see. I cannot share my whole screen because I think it's the same authorization thing. Okay, so yeah. So let me share this quickly so you can see. Yeah, so okay, so everybody can see my screen now? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you can see, so we're actually working on getting all the things together up on YouTube. So if you're a new agent, I know that we have been constantly joining us, and probably you missed because this has been a very ongoing and been a very, very good knowledge and supplemental for every, as I said, even me and Cindy, people like us, benefit a lot from such, sharing. So this is definitely going to be helpful for everyone. And also we're going to be posting all of our trainings, step-by-step guides, and also specificity. First of all, the guideline will be in our, website. We're going to be sending you, we're going to be keep updating everybody in the WhatsApp group message and the WeChat message. So, because we have two different groups, for WeChat is obviously for Chinese, agents a little bit more because everybody's kind of like comfortable using that. But also we have a WeChat, we have a WhatsApp group. So if you're interested in join WhatsApp group, also you can ping me. We have about 15 people there, and yeah, but you can definitely join WhatsApp groups. But we share all the same. Anton is basically the moderator for the WhatsApp admin and share a lot of additional information and different things on WhatsApp. Yeah. So the third thing is that I think I'm gonna, for the 2 weeks later, Sita is going to introduce us San Bruno and South San Francisco. And after that, Trey is going to introduce us another 2 weeks. Trey is going to introduce for us for Willow Glen. Okay. And after that, I'm going to need a volunteer and I think you can do it to give us one place that you're comfortable, and you want to share. So who wants to volunteer? I'm gonna pay $50 for this I'm gonna pay for this volunteer. Yeah. Who wants to volunteer? So if you, so here's the thing. Last time I told Nemo you do it. At that time Nemo was saying, "Oh, you know what? My English is a bit challenging." I said, "No problem. Just do whatever you can. You can do it." Right? She started challenging herself. After 6 weeks, she did it very successfully, as you see a couple of weeks ago, right? In Cupertino. Plus, she was able to manage and close one deal. So I think this is what it's most importantly, to set up a wild goal, to set up a goal that you think is very hard, but you try your best to accomplish it. This is the same thing. When everybody asks me, "Hey, what do you want to take Sky Realty to?" I'm gonna tell everybody, first step is that we're gonna go become one of the top 10 brokerages. Again, we're number 23 this week, but we're gonna eventually go into top 10. Especially when you try to move up, it's going to be harder and harder, right? But again, the goal is there. And next step, I'm gonna try to go to IPO. I'm gonna try to, so some very wild and the hard things, when you actually do it, you can find it so easy. And there's a lot of benefits and products you can get from the process. So with that being said, anyone wants to volunteer?
I think stepping out of your comfort zone, right? Think about that, right? It's very good for you guys to do, because if we always stay within our comfort zone, then you never explore you never break your guys' boundaries, right?
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm gonna speak to a couple of you. The next time after Trey is definitely gonna be a newer agent who joined us. So essentially, I think for now everybody is doing an over expectation job. So again, if you are experienced or very familiar with, maybe you can take 2 or 3 days to prepare. As I said, even when I did Palo Alto, I took 40 hours. Not 40 hours, 4 hours in 2 days to prepare my speech. So there's always something to do. So okay. I have someone in my mind. I'll reach out to you individually. So yeah, and then, but that's gonna be challenge, and that's something we're gonna go from there. Yeah, and so yeah, so I guess this is it for this week. I don't want to add anything. We're keeping doing our research. Oh, by the way, one thing is that I really want everybody to read our blogs. These are some of the we are actually making some extra. Let me try to share this with you so you can kind of see. So I'm gonna eventually now is let's see, yeah. So now this is something that we are I have written 6 ones. I'm gonna add another couple of what about prospecting? What about listing agents? And this is a special, interview with Sunny Lee, the founder of Stella Homes, and also, these are the different types. Or we're going to be adding different tags. You can definitely click on each of the tags. You can see different ones. Not only you can translate, you can copy paste this blogs to your own social. And when I'm actually digging out more real estate world, I can actually find different people are actually leveraging more. Many of our agents are thinking about the red note, but I actually find many of the agents actually digging out of red note and actually going to places like Instagram, where you can definitely also find places. So what we are trying to do right now is that we're going to be trying to do the photo and text version of the blog. Plus, we're going to be trying to transfer everything into a video, so you can share either. Or you can make it your own. I highly encourage you to make your own version of the blog that you can leverage. And we're going to be talking, we're in the process of actually getting to a coach that we will be setting up one-on-one growth plan for you. Now it's mostly me, but I'm thinking, and Cindy, obviously. But the problem is that the way we interact with you are kind of sparse and not systematic. So I am recently heavily incorporating Tom Ferry's training system, which is very interesting. That the most needed thing in real estate is discipline and a system. So we're going to be trying to implement everything in position and get you a, for example, 90-day, 180-day accountability plan, getting you a system. So, but again, that one will need to be originate from your plan again. You are the boss. Again, you are the boss. Sean is not your boss. Cindy is not your boss. Anton is not your boss. You are who you are, and you get to where you want to be. There's no limit for the development. So yeah. So, but we are the facilitator. We are here to help you. We are here to share and see what you do, and we can go from there. If you need any resource information, talk to us, Cindy and me, and we are absolutely here to up for that. Anything. So again, for your successful, there's nothing we will not do. Okay. All right. Yeah. Again, 30 seconds or 1 minute question time. Anything anyone want to say before we let you go?
I'll just say one thing. So in the WhatsApp group, Austin had mentioned that one of his issues was client retention at open houses. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be sharing exactly, and it's something I can't address like over WhatsApp and a text message. So I'm going to be addressing that exact issue, and I'll be giving you my tactics to retain clients, and I'll likely be giving you very specific examples and recordings, actual audio recordings on how I do this. There's a few ways to retain clients, but I'll show you how I do it.
Okay, that's great. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for joining. And so that's that. All the questions we can discuss in either group all the time. And see you next time in 2 weeks. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.